What's happening, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. I want to go over whether the market could potentially crash or whether it's going to continue going higher. We're going to be addressing Bitcoin, the usual cryptocurrency stuff, but I want to go over to the US indices as well. And I want to talk a little bit about the S&P 500 because it is showing quite a lot of strength at the moment. Obviously, we've got the rate announcement coming this Wednesday. Definitely something we want to be paying attention to. But is this being priced in? Let's get over to the charts and take a look. So we can see on Bitcoin, and the reason I'm using monthly charts at the moment is because we're very close to the end of the month. And I want to get a feel for what that monthly candle looks like. So we just zoom into Bitcoin a little bit here. Obviously, this section here in blue, this is a previous video that I did. So I was just denoting this area of interest. We've obviously got these areas up here where there is liquidity. Price has obviously stabilized at that place. You know, if we just drop down to the daily chart, we can see this is what we're getting on the daily chart at the moment. Obviously, prices started to go sideways while we wait for this rate announcement. But if we go back to the monthly chart, we can see it's a pretty strong monthly candle. If this candle isn't reversed, it's likely we're going to continue going higher, 24, 25, possibly up to 27. I did post a chart on Twitter regarding this. But we need to get through this first. So we want to see what the response is going into this week. But again, and I want to reiterate, be very clear about this. There is no volume coming into the cryptocurrency market. This is basically just being dragged up, by US equities, what's happening over there in the US, what's happening with, for example, the S&P 500, very, very strong month. And obviously, it is likely we'll close like this. So if we close on a strong month and actually clear these highs as well, we're probably going to end up around about 4,200 to 4,300, maybe a little bit higher. But so far so good. It is looking very, very strong. The other thing that we want to pay attention to is the fact that if we just zoom out a little bit on the Dow, you can see where the Dow is. You can see where the S&P is, and then obviously if you look at the Nasdaq's much lower, right? So obviously tech is not as strong as the rest of the market, and the tech sector, i.e. the Nasdaq 100, is something that we pay the closest attention to because it is probably the closest correlation to the cryptocurrency market. So this affects Bitcoin probably more than any other indice, or asset class. So definitely something we need to be mindful of. I'm not expecting this to be the bottom. This is something that I still don't feel that this is the case. If we go to the weekly chart of Bitcoin, zoom out just a little bit, we can see this nice movement to the upside, and even if we do end up going a little bit higher, 27, 28K, we need to stabilize in that area. We need to see signs or confirmation, right, that price is holding these levels, and some of these key events that are happening in terms of the Fed rate announcement, obviously some CPI numbers coming next. I think sort of mid-February. Obviously, don't forget that February is a shorter month as well. You do tend to get a lot of volatility in February. So there are things that could, easily turn this round, that could put us all the way back down here, in these areas, 16,000, 17,000. If we come anywhere close, to 18, 17, 16,000, we're going lower, pure and simple, because this move, if it's going to be sustained, it needs to be sustained now. It's not something that is a fresh move, like the first one here, this first initial rally in this downtrend, it's happening at a much later time. So if it needs to, if it's gonna continue going higher, it needs to sustain this level now. Going over to Binance is a little bit different. If we go to the monthly chart of Binance, you can see basically this was obviously the the acquisition of FTX, which we know obviously went to crap, but the reversal, and obviously this really strong month again, just getting dragged up by the rest of the market. Really, this is not off the back of Binance doing anything special, and ultimately this one monthly candle now, whether it's Binance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, it doesn't matter, any monthly candle, right, that is strong like this, if it's not reversed, we're either going sideways, and then waiting for something else to hit the market before it continues going lower or higher, or we're just going to continue going higher. Personally, I think Binance is a little bit weaker than Bitcoin at the moment, but if we do continue seeing upside movement, then obviously this is going to go with it as well. But the question is that going to happen? Well, we have to be patient now going into Tuesday. Tuesday is when the first set of numbers hit the market, and when they do, that's when we're going to get a little bit of an indication as to whether or not this is going to be the case or not. But for now, I will leave you with probably the S&P. So if we see the S&P here, you can see very, very strong up move. If this continues 4.243, then we're likely to see that translate into all asset classes, in the broader market as well. We should see a little bit of a lift on Bitcoin, a little bit of a lift on the, cryptocurrency market. But Wednesday is absolutely key. What happens on Wednesday is basically, should give us a clearer indication of what we can expect going forward over the next 2 to 3 months, right? So with that said, hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day or evening wherever you're on the world, and I'll speak to you soon. Ciao for now.